I am really interested in the topic. I think it's a really fascinating conversation to have. And you may not have perhaps thought of it this way, but the way I interpreted what we're going to discuss, which is why we behave like we do, and uncovering the root causes of unhealthy behaviors, is a lot of people in, let's say, business world, achievement is, I think, an attempt to make up for, or perhaps, in order to feel loved or, feel worthy. Business success is an attempt to do that. And that's why I think this is an interesting topic. What are your thoughts on that premise?
Yes, absolutely, I agree. Unhealthy behaviors, we develop them, but not because we choose to develop them. We are forced to do that. And we are forced by our family's toxic emotional inheritance to develop unhealthy behaviors. And these behaviors affect all areas of our lives, business too.
So how would someone know whether they're doing something because they actually want to versus something that's been inherited and, let's say, is not necessarily a healthy behavior?
Well, you know it because it stops you from thriving. If you do manage to thrive, you don't enjoy the process. So these two things are signs that it's something inherited, toxic.
So coming back to our example, if, say, for example, someone was using business as a way to feel worthy or feel loved, if they got that success and they actually didn't enjoy it, that would meet the criteria of perhaps an unhealthy behavior, and it's inherited
Yes.
from parents, maybe.
Absolutely, because if you do that, if you do business to feel loved and accepted and recognized, then it means that you need something from the outside to fill in a gap, a void inside. And this void is about the lack of self-love. And we have a lack of self-love exclusively because we haven't received that from our parents, and because they never taught us how to love ourselves, what self-love means. And so we do business in order to achieve success, to be seen, to be heard, to be accepted, to be validated. And maybe we become very successful, but first we haven't enjoyed the process very much, because there is also the anxiety. You have to perform, to achieve it at any cost. And the real reason is because you want to feel loved.
I think also I would add in something else, which is people want to be quite followed and popular on social media. Do you think that is also a similar analogy?
Well, it depends, it doesn't necessarily mean that you are forced by a toxic element. It depends. You know it, whether it is whether the real reason, the root cause, is an inherited toxic emotional elements or not. Because there is nothing wrong to want to be famous and on social medias, in business, but what drives your behavior? Is it love, or is it a toxic element? Is it something that you inherited? Is it something yours? Because we have also toxic pain inside of our hearts. So if you can discern these, then you know the answer.
If someone was to say to you, I'm not really too sure what drives my behavior, what do you say to them?
You can easily understand it, actually, because if you experience fatigue, if you experience anxiety often, if you experience an internal discomfort while you are in the process of achieving your goal, if you are fail many times, then it means, it's a sign that you have inside something toxic that is forcing you to behave that way. And you can understand what it is by taking the time to reflect on yourself. Just pause and stay with the feeling, stay with the emotion, and ask yourself, am I doing this because it's my depression, it's my anxiety, it's an internal discomfort that is making me, that is driving me in this way, that is choosing for me, or is it me?